2 years after the divorce, my ex knocked on my door, begging for another chance. But it was too late. 2 years ago, my world shattered with a single text message. "We need to talk. I filed for divorce." Just like that. No warning. No explanation. Nothing. I remember staring at my phone, heart racing, trying to figure out if I was reading it right. This was my husband of nearly 10 years, Jason. He was my best friend, the person I thought I would grow old with. We had the life everyone envied, beautiful house, successful careers, a love story people admired. We'd even tried for children. After a couple of years of trying on our own, we turned to IVF. It was tough. So many injections, so many failed attempts. I blamed myself when it didn't work. I thought if I just tried harder, maybe I could give him the family we both wanted. He told me we were enough, that it was just us, and that was all we needed. But now, here I was, staring at his message, completely blindsided. He didn't even say it face to face. He just filed. No talk of us growing apart. No mention of feeling unfulfilled. Just I filed for divorce. The worst part? The moment he left, I didn't just lose a husband, I lost my identity. I tried to figure out what went wrong. I'd always put him first, always made him feel special. I supported his dreams, sacrificed my own, did everything I thought would make him happy. Yet, he didn't even bother to fight for us. Then, I started looking deeper into the situation. I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. My therapist suggested I focus on healing, but I needed closure. So, I did something I never imagined I'd do. I went through his stuff. It wasn't a proud moment, but I found something I didn't expect, a shared folder on his laptop, photos, hotel reservations, emails. Her name was Sophie. I didn't want to believe it at first, but it was all there. Sophie was everything I wasn't: young, blonde, vibrant, and fit. She was everything I thought I could never be. And there it was, evidence of their affair, dating back months before he even filed for divorce. The cruelest part? I found one folder titled "Things I Want in My Next Marriage." It was a list, things he wanted from a woman. At the top of the list, greater than no emotional baggage like infertility. I want kids. I was the emotional baggage, my inability to give him children. And I realized, everything we had was a lie. Our love story, our life together, it was all built on a foundation of deceit. He was already planning his future with her while I was pouring everything I had into our relationship. The pain was unbearable, but I was determined to take back my power. I called a lawyer. I didn't confront him immediately. I knew I had to be strategic. I gathered all the evidence, all the screenshots, all the receipts, and I filed for adultery. I didn't want revenge. I wanted my dignity back. Jason didn't fight me. In fact, he didn't even seem surprised when I told him I knew about Sophie. He just admitted it all and apologized. Said he didn't know how things got so far. That he was lost. But I wasn't looking for apologies. I was looking for freedom. The divorce wasn't easy. It dragged on for months. But the day it was finalized, I remember standing in the courtroom feeling light. The weight of that marriage, of all the lies, lifted off me in an instant. I was free. But being free didn't mean being healed. The pain was still there. I cried for weeks after the divorce. I felt empty and unsure of who I was anymore. But slowly, I started rebuilding. I took up painting again, something I'd loved as a child. I started walking every day, alone, without the weight of someone else's expectations on my shoulders. I started traveling, finding new hobbies, and reconnecting with old friends. I learned to laugh again, to sleep without feeling anxious, to breathe without wondering if I was enough. About a year later, I met Leo. Leo wasn't anything like Jason. He didn't rush in to save me. He didn't try to fix me. He simply stood by me. We met at a mutual friend's party, and there was an instant connection, but it wasn't rushed or intense. We took things slow. And when we kissed, it wasn't with desperation or fear, it was with kindness, understanding, and respect. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. Not as someone who had been hurt, but as someone who was worthy of love. He supported my healing journey. He understood my fears and never tried to rush me. And one day, when we were sitting on the porch, just watching the sunset, he turned to me and said, "I don't want to rescue you. I want to walk beside you." And in that moment, I knew. This was what real love felt like. It wasn't about fixing each other. It was about growth, together. But life has a funny way of testing you. Last Sunday, I was home, making tea when I heard the knock on the door. It was a cold, rainy day, and I didn't expect anyone. I opened it, and there he was. Jason. He looked different. thinner, older, almost like a stranger. He had the same brown eyes, but they were hollow, empty. He was drenched from the rain, his hair matted to his forehead. "I know I'm the last person you want to see," he said softly. "But I had to talk to you." I didn't say anything. I just stood there, staring. I'd never seen him like this. This wasn't the confident, controlling man I had married. This was a broken person. But I wasn't sure if I could even recognize him anymore. Not the man who betrayed me. Not the man who left without a word, without a fight. "I've been seeing a therapist," he continued. "I've been working on myself. I've been trying to figure out what I did wrong. And I know I hurt you. And I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know that I'm sorry." I waited. I let him speak, but I wasn't moved. Not anymore. He went on, telling me that Sophie had left him 6 months ago. That everything had fallen apart. He lost his job. His friends turned their backs. His family was disappointed. He was lonely. And the only thing he could think about was me. He said, "You were the best thing that ever happened to me." I didn't realize what I had until I lost it. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I didn't feel anything I thought I'd feel. Instead, I just stood there, silent. And that's when Leo appeared behind me. "Everything okay, babe?" Leo asked, walking into the room with a sleepy smile. Our dog, Max, was in his arms, and he rubbed his eyes. Jason froze. His face turned white as he looked from me to Leo. His voice cracked. "You're with someone else?" I smiled softly. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel any of the bitterness I thought I would. I just felt peace. "Yeah, everything's perfect," I said, holding Leo's hand. Jason just stared at us, his mouth hanging open. He looked like he didn't know where to go, what to do. His whole world had collapsed in that instant. "I don't want to interrupt," Leo said, gently. "But if we're done here, I think we should go." Jason didn't say anything. He just nodded, turned around, and left, into the rain, into his empty world. As the door closed behind him, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: freedom. 2 years after my husband filed for divorce and cheated on me, he came back, begging for another chance. But I had healed, found love again, and gave him the closure he didn't expect, the sight of me truly happy without him.